Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aaronix. Welcome to CXW Championship Extreme Wrestling presents Extreme 2. Extremely 18 plus, extremely deathmatch professional wrestling here at the Institute in Braintree. Ladies and gentlemen, what a scintillating opener we have for you. The Extreme Cage of Death is on deck, and we have two of the very best that Europe has ever produced about to go to fucking war inside this steel cage. Unsurprisingly, a humongous ovation for Ricky Knight Jr., the blueprint of professional wrestling, and of course, part of the vaunted and historic Knight family dynasty, which is about to wreck fucking shop once again, because I tell you what, RKJ may very well be one of the best professional wrestlers in the world today. However, this is a real test of his mettle, and I do believe that he is well equipped to step inside a steel cage. The Knight family knows all about how to fucking scrap, how to street fight like no other. But his opponent tonight is arguably deathmatch royalty, arguably the best deathmatch wrestler in the world, period. Ricky Knight Jr. taking a look at this steel cage. And of course, we thank our friends at Kapow and SWF for providing such a magnificent monstrosity for these two men to do battle in. We have Ricky Knight seems to be leaving the vicinity. I have no idea where the hell Ricky Knight Jr. is heading, but his opponent is scheduled to arrive momentarily. Well, his opponent needs no introduction, but he's going to get one anyway, ladies and gentlemen, because he is, quite frankly, as I said, deathmatch royalty, representing the deathmatch outlaws. You recognize the music, you recognize the man, you recognize the myth. The CZW Tournament of Death winner, ladies and gentlemen, Big fucking Joe. Oh, big fucking, oh, look out, Ricky Knight Jr. with the pole harp around the back of Big fucking Joe with a stack of light tubes right over the back of the head and neck. And, oh man, Big Joe retaliates with a bin. Quite a level of symbolism right there. The war is on. Extreme Cage of Death. They're not going to wait until they get inside the steel cage as Ricky Knight Jr. blasts Big Joe right over the back with a steel chair. And that, frankly, is just an entree for what you can expect tonight. Ricky Knight Jr. has acquired himself his favourite brand of lager, and unsurprisingly so, he's going to war early. And he has recognised that Big fucking Joe is an extremely dangerous threat in any environment, especially a deathmatch environment. Both men looking for a drink, and I don't think Big Joe is impressed one bit. Referee Benny Madison is in charge of this Extreme Cage of Death match. By in charge, I mean he is solely there to make sure that one of these men wins the match, as Big fucking Joe puts the brakes on Ricky Knight Jr. and sends him back into the metal barrier. And this match cannot officially start until they enter the Extreme Cage of Death, but Big fucking Joe is lighting up Ricky Knight Jr. at ringside. Braintree is red hot. We are absolutely rammed to the rafters. Standing room only, of course, here at CXW Xtreme 2. Big F for Joe, looking to send Ricky Knight Jr. into the chairs and gets one in riposte. And Ricky Knight Jr., well, he's a Knight family member, so he loves an outdoor scrap, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that's too unfair to say. And boy, do they know how to do it. So Ricky Knight Jr. is about to do a little bit of tape study, courtesy of Big fucking Joe's face. Just smashing cassettes. VHS takes over the face. Tape trading, this is not And Ricky Knight Jr., I think, looking potentially for a power driver onto the floor here. Absolutely no room, no corner given, but a back body drop. Oh man, nasty landing for Ricky Knight Jr. as Big Effie Joe lights up the audience here in Braintree. Pro wrestling royalty from one end of the spectrum to the other. And now a coat hanger, fish hooking Ricky Knight Jr. in the mouth. Big Effie Joe has made a signature out of disgusting violence, and he's doing so right now at the expense of RKJ. Big Effie Joe has created waves in the professional wrestling scene and has created a parting of the waves here as he's laying in the right hands on Ricky Knight Jr., who, dare I say, is enjoying. Oh, come on, low blow. I mean, what do I expect from Extreme Cage of Death, frankly? Low blow from Ricky Knight Jr., and I do believe Big fucking Joe is about to get a bit of his own medicine because he shoved a coat hanger up his arsehole is what he's done. Good God almighty. Talking about ripping a man a new one. And now, Big Effie Joe sent into the side of the steel cage. Absolutely no shift in here. No quarters given. This ain't your mama's steel cage, ladies and gentlemen. This is a proper Extreme Cage of Death. And now Big Effie Joe teeing off once again on RKJ with an unlikely assist from our audience here in Braintree. And a little bit of nipple twist to add to the insult of injury. And now Ricky Knight Jr. says, where the fuck do you think you're going, sweetheart? Rips down the chest. Oh man, a vicious knife edge chop from RKJ. And now, I don't think Big Effie Joe appreciates being hydrated in that manner. Beer across the face. Both of these men, by the way, yet to enter the Extreme Cage of Death. Just an all-out brawl. A war of attrition here between professional wrestling royalty and deathmatch wrestling royalty. And Big Effie Joe teeing off with beautiful right hands and knife edge chops. Look at the speed, look at the coordination. Big Effie Joe is on fire here at Extreme 2 for CXW. Well, pretty obvious. Big Effie Joe carries a lot of weight and a lot of respect for this audience. That doesn't mean that Big Effie Joe isn't going to make them part ways. And now just teeing off on RKJ using his own shirt. And you can see, by the way, the condition that Joe is in is absolutely astonishing. Credit to the man, looking absolutely stacked here at CXW's Extreme 2. And man, that'll cut you down to size. Knife edge chop from RKJ and a fireman's carry. And I do believe potential. Well, I was hoping that we might get some form of a steel cage match. Good God almighty. RKJ sent crashing through the chairs. Absolutely no court given. It looks like Big Effie Joe is creating a mountain, a stack, for which RKJ is buried underneath. See, Big Joe, the wheels are turning. Talk about a mastermind in violence, and a steel chair over the top of the dome will certainly help level the playing field. Very rare that it's hard to determine who would be best in a street fight. Good God almighty. Well, Joe just waylaying this stack of chairs that are laying on RKJ with a steel chair of his own. The mountain of madness continues as Big Effie Joe and RKJ, by the way, are yet to enter the Extreme Cage of Death. And we're almost 10 minutes in to our show here, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, the cage finally gets to say hello to Ricky Knight Jr. and Big fucking Joe. Finally, both men, and the bell can ring, and this match starts proper, and a super kick to start matters as RKJ asking the referee on the outside to leave the door open, and I do believe he might have heinous intentions as he just clarks Big Joe in the face with the door of that steel cage right across the dome of Big fucking Joe's face. And RKJ, Joe rolls him up from behind. I mean, RKJ was taking a little bit too long to admire his own handy work. Good God almighty, it didn't take too long to admire a light tube right across the nostrils of Big Joe and one to the spine. And the vicious nature of the Cage of Death is finally coming to fruition before your very eyes. And media and AMLE photography at ringside. taking their life into their own hands, trying to capture all of this action. But please don't forget to check out CXW on Facebook and social media to see all of the magnificent footage and especially that incredible photography. I think RKJ is interested in any photography right now, although he is certainly interested in making his own picture-perfect moment at the expense of Big Joe's corpse. Big Joe struggling in a minute. You can see the damage is already being done to the spine, to the back of Big Joe. That is certainly not going to help matters. Violent scoop slam on top of a stack of light tubes. That's going to cut up the spine. Oh my God, just a 1 count. Billy Madison didn't even get to 2 before Big Joe just kicked out. Oh my God, what in fuck's name is that? Now, that is beyond Timmy Mallet, ladies and gentlemen. Good God almighty, RKJ was sitting into the side of the cage and a light tube was waiting for him. And now Big fucking Joe has a mallet, which I do believe has a large amount of what can only be described. I believe it might be nails on one end and thumbtacks on the other, and he's shoving it up the arse of RKJ. No point trying to be fancy about this. Man, a vicious big boot right to the side of the skull, and he just twats that mallet across the spine of Big Joe. I have to say, the Douglas family, absolutely magnificent in their reinvention of the deathmatch weapon, and nothing fancy about this, just a bin lid to the side of the head. And Ricky Knight Jr. is dangerous enough. Good God almighty, he just stuck his own head through it, as if to say, that's how fucking hard I am, mate. Steel cage has been ripped from the side. The steel chair, excuse me, has been ripped from the side of the steel cage, the extreme cage of death. And oh man, that is a vicious place to be in, and a light tube right across the chest, and Big Effin' Joe has been placed upon a steel chair, and I think RKJ has extremely heinous intentions. Where in God's name is Ricky Knight Jr. going, looking to scale this cage potentially? And Big Effin' Joe recognises the danger that is aware and has decided to cut him off at the pass and throws a chair at RKJ, but he keeps it about a minute. Good God almighty, just stuffs it right across his head. Well, RKJ, look out! Oh man, how about that for beautiful athleticism? A moment of beauty inside a moment of disgusting monstrosity that is the extreme cage of death. That swanton bomb was picture perfect from RKJ as he took flight, but it only garnered a 2 count. The extreme cage of death continues, and this is just our opener here at Extreme 2, ladies and gentlemen. The CXW Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line later on this evening, as well as the CXW Xtreme Championship. We got thumbtacks, we got light tubes, and everything else in between. This is just your opener. Ricky Knight Jr. asking the crowd which weapon to go for, and I think it's pretty obvious that the barbed wire baseball bat could go mine. Big Effin' Joe putting the brakes on and just shoves RKJ into the side of the cage. Sends him into the other side, does Big Effin' Joe, and there is an assortment of weaponry still available. An arsenal of pure, horrific violence available to both Big Joe and RKJ. Big Joe just rolls through and shows off his athleticism by delivering a lovely suplex after the light tube blow. Pinfall attempt. Oh man, RKJ took a long time to get his shoulder off of the canvas there. Certainly the sheer impact and violent magnitude of this matchup started to take its toll on both men. Big Joe ducks a clothesline, but RKJ ducks one of his own, and a double clothesline sends both men crashing into the middle of the canvas here inside the extreme cage of death. Well, we are still none the wiser as to who's going to come out on top here in the battle of professional wrestling's elite, and Big Joe is trying to get through and was trying to get through that steel cage and just found it crashing off of his dome, and RKJ sees it. Oh my God, a box full of cassette tapes. As I mentioned earlier, no tape trading, but I think we are actually going to have some tape trading right here. And for you young whippersnappers who may not understand the importance of tape trading in professional wrestling, we've got a VHS chant going off in fucking Braintree, and here we go, the brawl is on, and Well, RKJ would certainly be favoured in a straight-up fist fight. Look out, power driver! Good God, spike Big fucking Joe in the middle of the ring. Pinfall! Big Joe still able to get his shoulder off the canvas. You've got to give Big Joe all the love, all the credit in the world. The resilience of this man is astonishing. Ricky Knight Jr. has retreat. Oh boy, I tell you what, Billy Madison trying to clear some room, but RKJ tells him to leave it alone, and I do believe he's creating a better destruction. So everything from broken VHS, mouse traps, broken light tubes, anything and everything that is available to create a disaster zone for the back. Oh man, I think Ricky Knight Jr. actually looking to power driver Big Joe once again, squaring to the floor. And oh no, he gets back body dropped and goes ass first into his own better destruction. Big Effie Joe trying to regain some momentum here in this matchup. Sends RKJ into the corner. Looks to build up a head of steam as he does so and just cannonballs into RKJ in the corner. What more could these two possibly put each other through here in this extreme cage of death? Double leg takedown by Big Effing Joe. Big Joe looking to catapult RKJ and does so into the side of the unforgiving steel cage. This crowd coming alive for Big Effing Joe, ladies and gentlemen. Probably the most decorated deathmatch wrestler that Britain has ever produced, and arguably, for my estimation, the greatest deathmatch professional wrestler of all time. And another light tube across the back. Oh, nothing fancy about that. RKJ just kicks Big Effie Joe right in the dick. Simple as you like. And now, Ricky Knight Jr. looking to scale the cage and potentially looking, I don't know if he's looking to escape or not. Oh, Big Effie Joe isn't going to allow him to do so nonetheless. And now he's going to come and meet him at the top of the ropes. So this is a precarious position, as you can see, to be in. Hanging off of that cage, dangling on the top ropes. Not the easiest place to get your footing for anyone who's ever been on a top rope, and knife-edge chops being traded between these two leviathans of our sport. Oh no, I think Big Effie Joe is looking to chokeslam Ricky Knight Jr. But Ricky Knight Jr. able to escape, lands on his feet. Big Effie Joe over the top, lands on his feet. Super kick on the money. Oh man, Ricky Knight Jr. I do believe might be signalling for a destroyer of sorts, and Big Effing Joe able to escape. Big Effing Joe is in the place, and a Canadian destroyer from Big fucking Joe. Holy cow! Stunning athleticism. Look out! Death Valley driver right through the door with the charges, and just like that, Big fucking Joe has beaten Ricky Knight Jr. inside the extreme cage of death. I've been referring to it as the Extreme Cage of Death, but ultimately it was of course billed as the Cage of Extreme. It was certainly that and then some. Look at the carnage that lay before you, and the corpse of Ricky Knight Jr. barely breathing in the corner. I'm sure Ricky Knight Jr. is as stunned as anybody to be put down in a street fight like mentality, but Big Effie Joe, I do believe, well, he wants to have a word, and if I understand rightly, I think Big Effie Joe is very fucking impressed with what he's just seen out of Ricky Knight Jr. Two absolute warriors of the sport. You can ask for a more scintillating cage match, and that's exactly what we got here tonight.
Doesn't need to be doing this fucking shit. He's from a dynasty. Thanks fucking balls to do what you did, pal. So for that, like tip the proverbial hat.
Well, Big fucking Joe. Simple, succinct. A message sent to RKJ. A proverbial tip of the cap. Like he said, he doesn't have to do this shit.
You can't. Raise this to your face, cunt. I'll take it.
Well, simple and effective there. And how about Ricky Knight Jr. stepping into hell and coming out the other side still intact? What a stunning display from both of these men here tonight.